guys, it's Katie, and I'm here today to do the travel book tag. I'll link the creator's channel down below because I forgot the name of the creator, but I saw this tag going around a few weeks ago and I was just really excited about it because I've been looking for something along these lines. And so I just decided to do it because why not? So let's get into the questions. Number 1, what is your favorite travel book ever? I don't know about favorite ever, but one of my favorite travel books, and I'm assuming that this is what it means, is like a book that has traveling things in it. But my favorite is probably The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, because what better book to pick than about people going on adventures and doing lots of crazy travel things. So yeah, The Hobbit is definitely my favorite because it's full of everything and it's so much fun and crazy and I just love it. Number 2, what was the last book that made you feel like you wanted to travel to the place in which it was set? And for this, I had to think for a minute because I don't read a lot of books that are set in normal human countries. I read a lot of fantasy books, but I'm picking The Legend of Sigurd and Gudrun, also by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is set in Norway and Denmark, and I've really wanted to go there for a long time, but this book kind of just enhanced that want. So yeah, I definitely want to go to Norway or Sweden or Denmark. Number 3, what book would you carry if you were traveling to 1, the mountains, 2, a beach town, or 3, a city? This is kind of difficult, but I think I'm okay with the picks that I have chosen. And for the mountains, I'd pick Assassin's Quest, which is the 3rd book in the Realm of the Elderling series, as well as the 3rd book in the Farseer trilogy. Because a fair amount of the book takes place in the mountains, it's also a very heavy travel book. And so I just figured it was fitting for me to reread that book in a setting kind of where it took place, which is, as I said, a large chunk of it is in the mountains. As for a beach town, I think I'd probably pick Peter Pan. There is a story there as to why I'd pick that besides, the obvious. You see a beach, there are bound to be pirates and other fun adventures and things like that. But when I would travel, because I think it was every other year, my parents and I would go to the Cayman Islands, and that was one of the books that I distinctly remember reading and having with me on one of those trips. And so it just has a very special place in my heart for beach/travel things. And then the last portion of the question is, what book would you bring with you to a city? And I had to think for a little bit of time about this because I think it would just depend on the city that I was going to, because European cities have a very different feel than US cities like Chicago or New York City or even LA in some ways. And so it depends. If I were going to Europe, I'd probably pick one kind of book, whereas if I were going to a city in the US, I would probably pick a different book. But I think I'd probably pick a Dan Brown book. Which one, I don't know yet, but I'd probably pick one of those because just like cities are fast-paced, those books are pretty fast-paced and they're fun to read, and since they take place in different parts of the world, I think they're a really versatile book to bring to a city. Number 4, which fantasy world would you love to travel to? That's difficult, just picking one. It's kind of impossible. The thing that comes to my mind first is probably just the Shire in general. I love it there. But since I've been to Ireland, which is basically very similar to the Shire in a lot of ways, as is parts of England, I'm gonna either pick, well, and the same goes for Hogwarts and Harry Potter World, because because I've been to England, and a lot of the places that are in the books I've been to, I probably wouldn't pick that. So last, I probably would pick the Six Duchies, which is from the Realm of the Elderling series. I would just love to go to just anywhere in that world, in that book, in those books, because I don't know, it's just really cool, and just seeing all of the things that happen and getting to see dragons and there's just so much to explore in that world that I just feel like I would never be bored. I could go on all kinds of adventures, go to different places depending on the time of year and whatever. And number 5, what fantasy place would you never want to go? And, you know, while I can see that there's value in all of the places, even if it isn't a place that you would be safe, or it just doesn't appeal to you, I'd probably want to visit every place except for maybe Pan Am, because just how the US is going right now, it just seems to be going in that direction. And I'm not excited about it. So why would I want to go visit a place that is so like the reality I'm living? Number 6. What character do you think would be a great travel companion for you? No, I cannot answer this question. I think it would just depend on where I was going. Companion would depend on what place I was going to visit. But I picked, I think, 3? Yeah, 3 that I could see potentially accompanying me in multiple different scenarios. I would definitely want to bring Aragorn from The Lord of the Rings, because just a great tracker, he's great protector, and just attractive. Obviously, why would I not want to bring him with me? But I'd also probably bring the Fool, because our personalities are similar, and we can have a lot of fun together, I think. Lots of snarky, fun conversations. He's a great dancer and just knows how to have fun. And I just would love to go somewhere with the Fool. But if the Fool came along, I'd probably have to have Fitz come too, because Fitzy, you and your little jealous streaks at times, my dear. And then lastly, I'd probably bring Night Eyes, who, honestly, if I brought Fitz and the Fool, Night Eyes would just come too. They're a package deal. You can't have one without the other two. It's just impossible. So yeah, those are the main characters I'd probably bring. But I don't know. I could see myself bringing a lot of different people, depending on the kind of trip and the kind of journey and the place I was going to. Number 7. What collection of short stories would you take along if you went city hopping? I haven't read a lot of short stories, and so I had a bit of a struggle with this, but I think it could be really fun to bring Edgar Allan Poe's short story collection, because cities have, especially old cities, they have just a certain feel to them. And so because Edgar Allan Poe likes to write some kind of horror-esque stories, I don't know, I just think that could be really fun to read no matter what kind of a city I was in. There's probably a short story for each city and each scenario if I were to bring one of his collections. So I think just because it's such a versatile short story collection, that would probably be one of the ones that I would bring. And number 8, what is the best city, town, or village you have ever visited, and which book reminds you of that place? No. I can't pick a favorite place I've ever been. Every single place I have visited has value, has a special place in my heart, and it's just impossible to pick a favorite. Whenever people ask me what my favorite place that I've ever traveled in real life is, I literally have to tell them, I can't pick a favorite. Every place that I visited has value and had things that I really enjoyed and probably some things that I didn't enjoy. So I'm literally just going to pick the first thing that comes to my mind, and right now that is Essaouira from Morocco, which is in Morocco. And the book that reminds me of that place in particular is the Live Ship Traders books, because of the atmosphere and the descriptions of the little towns and the fact that they're trading towns. And Essaouira is I don't want to call it a trading town, but it has a feel of a trading town in a way. They have a lot of like fisheries and things, and then they have cute little street markets and things. It just has a very, very big feeling of being just a sea trading port. And I believe it might have been at one point. And that is the essence of what the Live Ship Traders trilogy deals with. It's a mixture of Essaouira and Crete. I put those together, and those are what I think of. That's what I'm gonna go with. And yeah, those are all the questions. I had a really fun time and kind of a hard time picking some things because of the questions or whatever. But yeah, I had a really great time doing this tag, and I'm gonna have to think about who I'm gonna tag for this because I haven't seen it going around a lot, so I'm probably gonna have free reign. When I pick people to tag, I'll probably put them in the description box, and then I'll also tag you on Twitter if you have one. But yeah, other than that, that's about all I've got for you today. So as always, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media. I have a Twitter and a Goodreads, which are both linked below. And I also have other social media sites such as a Tumblr, a second Twitter, and an Instagram upon request. And I will come back on another video for you guys again soon. Okay, bye.